Welcome back, everybody, to the Cali Current Podcast. It's your host, Grimace.
And Ish.
And we're coming back to talk about something near and dear to us, Mexican food in the Orange County. That's where I'll be residing.
Food, right?
Yes, sir. So our go-to taco spots, hidden gems, and where to get the best al pastor and carnitas and asada and pollito in Orange County. So how about you, Ish? What are you thinking when you think like I got a hankering for some tacos or some Mexicano food?
Preferably, I love my mom's food. No, there's nothing like home cooking,
Oh
right?
yes, nothing like home.
But
cooked
if I really
mom.
want to go get Mexican, I love a burrito place. It's not as good as it used to be in the late 90s, early thousands. Now it went downhill so much.
What place you said?
It's called Super Antojitos, but they're no
Oh,
longer
yeah.
around. That's not a brand anymore. They already dispersed. They all went their separate ways. The main one already went out of business. But and at their height of their peak, I used to love a carne asada burrito. It has cheese, grated Mexican cheese, white and yellow, and it has cilantro and green salsa, which is my favorite. I don't like onions. I always say no onions. I'm not a big onions fan. And also beans.
I'm big on the onions, and yeah, growing up, same. So maybe around that genre, that time, yeah, Super Antojitos was cracking. Yeah, that was a good go-to spot. Especially me and my homies, we'd go there after football games.
Oh, yeah.
After practice, or even just on the weekends, we'd go there and have a good time. We even started to know the managers and owners there.
Well, I went to high school with the son's owner, and he was, a soccer player, but
All right.
I always used to see him down every time in high school at the hallways, especially of the main one that they had off of Warner and Bristol. But that one's long gone. It's been gone for 20 plus years already. But my point is that
dang.
yeah,
that
been a
one's
while.
clearly long gone. Warner and
Yeah.
Bristol.
But my point is that
We would go to the one on by Orange Coast College. It was on
Fairview.
Baker.
And Baker.
Fairview and Baker. There you go. That was a
That
good
one is called. It's not that brand anymore. It's called Super A's, I think. But I think he used to be a co-owner. There used to be two owners or three owners.
Super A's. That's what we'd call it.
Yeah,
Super A's. I
yeah.
just assumed it was Super Antojito.
No, but that's what it's called now, actually. But my point is that street tacos are also pretty good. I'm a big lengua fan. Whatever you mentioned earlier, it's not a big deal. Tongue, that's beef tongue. For all of you that don't know lengua.
Oh, beef tongue?
Yeah,
Lengua
beef
is
tongue.
beef tongue. I was wondering if it was like goat tongue or something.
No. In L.A. County, they charge a premium for
What?
tongue. It's basically another, I don't know, 10, 15 cents extra per taco or something. So it's basically another $1 or more for each taco.
I think $1, not no 15 cents. Whenever they up
That's
the
what I
charge
meant.
on
Sorry,
meat,
that's what I
it's
meant.
like $1, not no
50,
15
like
cents.
50 cents actually.
There you go.
But
Maybe
when I used to live in
$1.50.
LA, but in LA, everybody look.
You used to live in LA? Where'd you live in LA? What the
Well, I didn't live in the LA per se. I lived in the Valley, which is Woodland Hills, which is basically,
sounds fancy.
it's very fancy. It's on the edge of LA County / the Valley. And basically the next town over is Calabasas. And then after that, it's Ventura County. It's basically at the end. But my point is, everybody in LA, every restaurant thinks that they have the best Mexican home cooking ever, authentic or not, whatever, It's hit and miss. It's just, I have my spots. I'm loyal to my spots, and I love to try to go to my spots.
Yeah, I understand the go-to spots, but I would say for my number one spot, I haven't been there in a minute, which, you know what, we might have to take a field trip and record. But my number one spot, I remember going to in Tijuana street tacos, man. I wasn't even hungry, because I understand when you're hungry, then you're like, oh, the food tastes so much better when you're hungry.
Yeah.
I wasn't even hungry. And then one of my tios or aunt's boyfriend, whatever, he's like, oh, check out this street taco place. Those street tacos were the best. I don't know what they put in them tacos. If it was, I'm starting to think it was lard, because from what I hear over here in the States, we use butter and oil, and in Mexico or in Tijuana they use lard. Or is that what lard is? Pig fat?
Pig fat, yeah.
That sounds like pig fat. And
well, we used to cook.
It was so good. Even the salsa was so good. I was like, That's what I'm saying. We might have to take a trip and do
Well,
a field trip and,
it's-
and show the viewers.
It does make a difference. Yeah, it's unhealthier. That's why they outlawed it here in the States.
It's outlawed or
Well, it's frowned upon. I mean, a lot of people still use it, like in the deep south or something.
Oh, crap.
But I remember when I was a kid, my mom used to have a big thing of REX large. It was a red. It was like a brick.
It was like a base. Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
I'm sure your mom cooked with it back in the early
white-based
80s.
bread.
Yeah. Well, it looked huge.
But I don't think she cooked with that.
I think, there's nothing wrong with eating tacos in Tijuana. There's this place actually close to the airport. It's like a little stand. It's a hole in the wall. Awesome tacos. The best tacos ever. Street tacos, at least.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
But they say, oh, well, be careful. You might get rat. You might get cat. You might get dog.
Like here's like carne de gato bien barato. Like, you mother
Okay,
trucker, that sounds good.
Okay, so if you guys ever watched the movie, well, I make a lot of movie references. And that one day we're gonna talk about that. One day about our favorite movies, about
All right,
what
that
favorite
sounds pretty
genres,
interesting.
about this,
Heck
that, and the other.
I like
Soon
me some movies.
on another episode, not today, but I'm gonna make another movie reference that I do.
On a rainy day.
The Demolition Man was, it's Sylvester Stallone, Sandra Bullock. I forgot his name. Short guy from Deuce Bigelow. I forgot. Whatever.
The propaganda of Demolition Man reminds me of Taco Bell.
Wesley Snipes. They're all in this.
Wesley Snipes and some Taco Bell is what Demolition Man reminds me of.
And there's this scene where they're all going underground because that's where all the people that don't want to live in the society in that time.
Oh
time frame.
damn! That's like a good
They're
movie.
They're eating tacos. Whatever.
I remember the commercials. I don't remember the movie though.
And Sylvester Stallone was saying, this is so delicious. What is this? It was a hamburger. And then the female, I guess, she had a little hat on. She was from the Andean. She's like, rata.
Rata.
And then the other guy,
wait,
I forgot his name. He's a comedian. I forgot his name.
She was from the Andes. What do you mean? Like
she was wearing a little hat. She was probably Bolivian.
Oh, okay.
She said it in a weird, not indigenous, but the way they speak over there, the
like
way they speak
Eastern
Spanish.
European native.
No, like a woman from Bolivia, because that's who the character was.
All right.
She just said rata, like what? But my point is that the guys are like, you don't see any cows down here, and he wondered where the meat was coming from, because Sylvester Stallone's character was eating a hamburger that they didn't have up. Because Taco Bell was this, fancy restaurant. They served small portions. But my point is,
the future of
Demolition Man. It's a good movie. Check it out. But if you
guys, I have to check it out now.
If you guys ever want to see that scene where they're like, oh, what is this hamburger made out of? So you don't be surprised what kind of meat you get. You get mystery meat over there down in Tijuana. That's why it tastes so damn good. Besides the lard.
Yeah, besides the lard, I mean, around here, to let you all in, if you're tuning in, and thank you for tuning in. One of the good secrets out here in Santa Ana, I would say, like a top-notch taco place is damn, to give them the accolades.
There's so many of them right now.
There's
Tacos
many.
El Gavilan that people have recommended me to go to.
Tacos Gavilan.
Have you heard?
I wouldn't say so much for their tacos, but mainly for their salsa bar, and they give you pinto beans. But then stuff changed after 2020. But El Toro gives some bomb ass tacos.
Yeah, you're right.
Gallo Hito gives some bomb ass tacos.
Gallo Hito's too expensive. It's always been too rich for my blood.
They overpriced because they became aware of how good they are. But yeah,
no, that's just too much cockiness in my opinion.
A
that's
little
just
bit
the
of
way
that
I see it.
Nonetheless, you're not gonna miss. It's still good. And Tacos Los Grandes, but as of recently, within the last year or two, there's been some drama there. So, I kind of low-key don't know if I should promote them or not promote them because it's unfortunate that they had beef. Like, it was owned by a brother and a sister, and then they had
I've heard of them. I think I've been there once maybe, but I don't remember it being that good.
Like, one of the brothers died, and he had all the ownership rights entitled. And like, long story short, it ended up being one of those things where they didn't really plan properly of a living trust and will and rights, and so it kind of turned into a mess. So now it's kind of like
they just let their quality slip.
Then I heard I heard stuff like that.
Well,
so I was like, I don't even know if I should promote it or not. But yeah, they had.
Well, you already talked about it
at one point. Yeah.
Well, in Santa Ana, there's a million different taco places. There's Taqueria Guadalajara that everybody loves so much.
Tacos Los Grandes.
There's Taqueria La Vida, which is down the street on First Street. I love that place. That's my favorite go to
And then
if it's not street tacos.
And then Tapatía number 1 on Bristol and Tapatía number
Exactly.
2 on
The
First
one
and Bristol.
Well, there's one in Anaheim, like off of Anaheim, I think, or Lemon Street. I don't remember. But my point is, a lot of people like going there because people love their Mexican food.
There's
after
and then
a club.
Cancun juice, like, see, that's the thing. And right here in Orange County, just in Santana, there's like so many good.
Shout out to my wife. She loves
spots.
Cancun juice, by the way. She loves the torta cubana or something.
But then being spoiled with all these bomb taco Mexicano spots, then when I go like to other places like Vegas, Nevada, Arizona, then it's like the bar is set so high because around here, there's so many different restaurants.
Dime a dozen,
so
right?
Yeah, so then when I go to other spots, I'm like, I'm sorry. The bar is
in Las
set
Vegas,
high around here.
In Las
when
Vegas,
it comes to this kind of food,
there's this place called Tacos El Gordo.
No. You know what?
There's King Taco in LA too. Have you ever tried King Taco?
I've tried
King
Taco.
They're good, but they're not bomb like everybody says,
Yeah, and also
not to disparage the brand.
Which they're still good. They're still good. I mean, you know what? It's still good quality food, but the thing is, my palate is like, it's really good around here, I guess.
Well, there's different spots opening up left and right. There's like places like Birreria, Jalisco now that I've seen all over the place.
There's a lot of good places opening up.
I mean, because it depends what you're into. You can have barbacoa, which is birria de, beef meat, or the original birria is made out of goat meat, but not everybody likes goat meat. I mean, I have a special taste for it because I grew up my uncle making birria in his backyard. He had a pozo. He had he dug out a thing in his backyard and he had a special pot. And he always made birria and it was top notch.
And the thing is, like, nowadays everything's changing. Like, there's always like new lunch trucks. Like, there's even this new one called, I think like Chivas Torta or something like that. They used to be down by 4th Street over there downtown Santa Ana. But then I think they've been moving with all the construction. But that was pretty good because it was like a wet torta or a torta mojada. And yet it was still crunchy. So it was like, it was not my favorite, but it was a really interesting take on a torta. It was a crunchy, wet torta. I was like, I'm not going to lie, it was pretty good. And it was spicy.
Usually, I mean, I also like a lot the carne asada nachos. And I usually go to like Alberto's. Yeah. That's basic. It's a chain, but it's well known. But it's like they make them really good there. I've tried them at many other different places, especially I think in Arsenio's when I used to work out of Phoenix. Similar, but not the same taste. But my go-to is now that it's crazy uber expensive. It's like $20 for the nachos alone.
Well, check this out. Some statistics, because I like to be throwing that to all y'all. In California, we have over 75,000 taco shops.
A lot.
And Orange County alone has 1,500. So that's like buildings and I'm pretty sure roach coaches. My bad, y'all. And the what do you call it? Food trucks.
Same difference. Isn't that the same thing?
Same thing, you know what I mean? Okay. And then birria tacos actually blew up in 2020 by the statistics over here by ChatGPT saying searches for best birria tacos new me increasing 290% in 3 years.
That's why now I see a lot of places because I drive everywhere that say birreria this, birreria that.
But that's true. You know what? Growing up, I mean, I didn't really know about birria. The only time I really ate birria was in quinceañeras and bodas. Well, bodas is a wedding.
It's
Whenever
beef. It's beef birria, not goat.
Whenever I'd go like a party, like a wedding reception growing up, or any time, from till now and then, or a quinceañera or a wedding, they'd always have beans, rice, and that wet meat with that like oil in it. And man, that was like the birria. And then I would see these spots open up with like birria tacos, la super birria Guadalajara. And I was like, damn, this is a quinceañera salon party in a fast food. Like, kaboom. That was a nice idea.
I don't know if people have noticed, but your taste buds change over the years. Your taste buds, I mean. The way you grew up remembering a taste of a certain food, hamburger, I don't care what it was, chicken or not. rat or not, if you go to Tijuana and have the tacos over there,
Okay.
your taste buds change over the years, and whatever you remember in your head that's how it tastes like when you're 5 years old, it's not going to be the same when you're 25, 35, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, your palate gets more sophisticated, but the point is that tastes end up changing, even though the ingredients also change too over time, because people are trying to either make more money, save money, or at least, they change the quality because of the fact that they're trying to make sure that they earn more for their buck, and you pay more for your food. And eventually it's going to get to a point we're going to be paying $30 for a meal. Right now it's getting close to the point where you're paying $20 for a meal.
I mean, honestly, I think the Mexican food was probably undervalued as we were growing up, and now I think it's kind of reached its market value for what it is. Like another honorable mention, Tacos Los Cholos. Man, when
I've
I
heard of
go
that.
there, yeah, I've been there like a couple times. The line's long and it's pretty good, but at the same time, like all the other places that we mentioned, they're also just as equally good. But Tacos Los Cholos also they got the choice if you want to go to USDA, I believe, or if you want to go to filet mignon. So that's an interesting take. But yeah, it's still pretty good.
There's
But
just so
just be
many.
prepared to wait in line because
There's
that's
so
got
many.
a long line for that place.
There's so many places in general. I mean, especially if you live in Southern Cal. I mean, I don't know. You go to different states and there's not that many options or choices. But here, it's like we're inundated left and right. We're bombarded with different types of, takes on your favorite Mexican food. A lot of it is either not authentic or it is 100% authentic, but it's hard to find. I mean, we're used to, I mean, I grew up eating Taco Bell too, I mean, it's not 100%, it's not authentic period, but it's more Americanized than anything, but it's still good. It's because people think some people think in certain ethnicities that's 100% authentic. That's how Mexican's supposed to taste. But no, I mean, it just depends on how you grow up.
Well, yeah, and another thing, like one of the things I was interested in was I saw the seafood buffet, and I was like, man, it looked pretty good. But at the same time, when I was seeing the seafood buffet, I was thinking like organic versus GMO. And when I saw like a seafood beef buffet, I was like, for sure, all of them are not organic. They're probably like farm raised.
I don't believe in GMO. I don't believe in organic. I don't believe in all the other labels that
What about
popped up about 10
farm
years
raised versus wild
cage
caught?
free.
Cage free.
I don't believe in none of
You
that.
don't care. So
I
like,
think it's all a ploy for them to make more money off of us. That's just the way I see it. It's my opinion.
really, like honestly, me like okay, I'd rather eat chickens and eggs. I literally buy my eggs. I buy the brown ones that say pasture raised, like free range. Cause I don't like. I've seen those videos on Netflix. I don't know if you be watching them, where like they show like PETA saying, "Let's fight the fight against these horrible egg producers or chicken producers," where they got the workers abusing the chickens. The poor hens are just laying eggs and they don't even want to lay eggs. They're just doing it because they're forced to out of like animal slavery. And I was like, I don't want to eat the egg that's like being forced into slavery to produce an egg. I want the happy chicken that's like, I'm producing eggs because I'm a happy chicken.
Well, that's the whole point of free range or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't really be, I buy into it because I kind of like, I saw the Netflix documentary and I was like, damn, I'm not trying to eat these chickens that
Talking
are
about
like,
rotten?
all like,
Is it called rotten?
it is called rotten. I think it is called rotten.
Yeah, I saw it too. But it doesn't deter me.
And
No.
that didn't deter you? Like that documentary made me say, you know what? Now I only get pasture raised and only like farm raised. And I also never get farm when it comes to fish or salmon. I always get wild caught. I don't want the farm raised GMO. I mean, honestly, if the farm raised GMO was like, hey, we're gonna genetically modify this fish to have creatine and maybe a little bit of extra protein and steroid to make the humans that consume it extra buffer and fit, then I might consider it. But they're not doing that. They're just putting fillers and non-beneficial
This
things
is why I don't
in
buy
there.
anything organic, because in reality, everything's organic, period. It's just, they want to slap this little label that's going to distinguish whatever you're going to pay more expensive than the things that are not organic. I don't believe in organic. I don't believe in none of that BS. I don't believe in MSG. I'm fine. I'm almost 50 years old. I mean, knock on wood, I'm not sick. I'm not gonna die of cancer anytime soon. It's all BS. It's all a ploy. You know, it's all BS.
I don't think it's BS, but the problem is organic. Like they've made loopholes, so it's like they'll call something organic, but yet they're still putting synthetic fertilizers in there
So
when it's
exactly.
not organic.
So how
And that's
organic?
messed up.
How
That's where they
organic
mess
is
up.
it if it's not 100% organic? What's the
Yeah.
point of paying that extra 5 cents, whatever, 10 cents? Yeah, you don't.
Maybe
go to the
a lot of
supermarket
times over 10 cents. A lot of times like $1.
Exactly, but that's my point.
Organic.
It's irresponsible. I mean, I was gonna say something else.
It is irresponsible. I mean, honestly, a lot of times you gotta trust where the place you're buying it from. A lot of times, yeah, when you go to the store, I do rely on the organic name, and sometimes I probably am getting got like organic bananas,
Okay.
and they're probably not organic bananas because from what I understand,
Mm-hmm.
a real organic banana should have seeds in it, but from the what do you call it? From the not genetically modified, but genetically Darwinized, selective production, whatever. Bananas should have seeds in them.
Yeah.
But now they've bred all the bananas to have no seeds, which is good for us, but that's not an authentic banana.
It's
no
not
more.
organic.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, let me tell you something. And this is why I don't believe in going to like stores and has nothing to do with me being biased against any stores. I don't like to go to places like Trader Joe's, to like Whole Foods, to like Gelson's or whatever. Those are all.
What about Trader Joe's?
That's what I just said. This is the first one. The point is that one time I went, and I'm gonna recount a quick story with my friend Doggo when I went to go visit him. He lives in Glendale. He's been there forever, ever since we graduated high school. He went to San Francisco State University up north. He got his degree in communications, or I guess film and TV, and he came down here, and now he's been writing movies and scripts and being a director. But he's also busy doing other things. But my point is, he's always busy. So the point is that I want to go visit him once. We would go have lunch. He wanted to go to Whole Foods, I guess, to eat organic things or whatever. I ended up eating a fruit salad that, guess how much that cost me? And this was about 10 years ago when, it wasn't now anywhere close to what the fruit is today.
And how much?
I paid $15 for a fruit salad. Are you kidding me? I'm like, damn, really? I'm like, I almost didn't want to buy it because I am a cheapskate. I am very frugal. I am very like, oh, well, I got to save money where I can, save it here and there, and not on food, I'm not going to spend too much money on food. And I paid $15 and I'm like, because they claim that everything that they sell is organic and or, safe, environmentally friendly and all that. But I don't know. I mean, to me, it tastes the same as a regular $5 fruit salad that a street vendor would, one of those, people on the side of the roads that you could buy off of. I don't know what the big difference was, only for the $10 that I got ripped off.
Well, according to the healthmagazine.com, they're saying that organic food has more nutrients, but not by much. And farm-raised salmon versus wild-caught. Wild has more omega-3s, but farm-raised is cheaper and more accessible. So, yeah, like when I go to the stores, I honestly like getting frozen fish, try to being healthy. And from watching other podcasts that I watch, they always say, we always get the wild caught. And yeah, I was thinking like wild caught. And that'll make sense because farm raised, you could get like genetically modified fish. And I don't know, like I said, I wouldn't mind the genetically modified fish if they were like turbo boosted, but they're not turbo boosting the genetically modified foods. The genetically modified foods are more like for filler and not for benefit, just to like feed
what about
cattle.
What do you think about synthetic meat or how they want to call them in certain franchises? I already said synthetic. I mean the Impossible Burger or whatever.
What's it called non-beef vegetarian, the vegetarian patties.
Well, there's veggie patties and there's also like artificial meat, however that it is manufactured.
I mean, the idea sounds really good, but the only problem is they are substituting the actual meat of killing the cow or whatever, and the things they're putting as fillers is, from what I understand, is way worse. It's like glue and like bad things, bad ingredients that they're substituting the meat. So at the end of the day, it ends up being the same thing. Well, as far as nutrient wise, I mean, you're saving the animal, for vegetarians that, oh, I don't want to eat this cow, I don't want to eat this goat or whatever.
What about vegans? I mean, I know we don't really touch on those subjects about vegetarianism. I know there's a big difference between being vegetarian and being vegan, because one time actually I picked up a writer and she's like, yeah, you should talk about that. I'm a vegetarian, or I don't eat meat or whatever. And she's like, yeah, you should talk about it. And I'm like, okay, I will one day, eventually. I guess we're on the topic of it right now. I've never tried anything tofu this. People are like, tofu this, tofu that. Eat a tofu burger, eat a tofu whatever, Try a turkey burger, save the cows, Or I go a lot to Chick-fil-A because I love chicken. And they're like, the cows are eat more chicken, this, that, and the other. It's like, okay, I do eat more chicken. That's all I try to eat mostly, mainly.
Well, there's like different levels to it. I used to have this vegetarian worker, and he would even tell me, oh, yeah, try this bakery where they make all their pastries, and they're like made out of like non animal products, like not eggs, I guess, or something.
See, but how are we gonna know for sure that anything is 100% what they say? Because I mean, yeah, it's easy for them to say, look, we're anti-meat, we're anti-making the animals suffer, or we're PETA friendly or whatever. And the point is that they're not cutting corners just to make their ends meet or make their quotas for their sales or whatever. You don't know. I mean, nothing is ever what it seems. That's why I don't believe in all this GMO, this organic, non-organic, and this, that, and the other, Yeah, I think eventually we're all going to possibly suffer great consequences from just in general, all the things that we consume. But, I mean, I don't know. I think we're already in that future.
I mean, clearly we are in that future because, clearly we are in that future. Because GMOs, I mean, 52% of Americans, by the statistics over here by ChatGPT, is Americans are actively trying to buy organic, but only 30% stick with it due to its price. And yeah, like when I be buying bananas and stuff, I always go for the organic ones. And a lot of times, by the time I get there, there's only like a couple sacks left of organic bananas, and I'm just like, yes, I got some organic bananas. So I actively try to get the organic ones, but sometimes I usually pay the extra price for organic, even though I'll be knowing like, oh, these companies could like, it's not truly organic. They like, make some slight difference to their regular product. Yeah. But some companies are pretty honest about it. I mean, I'm a grower, I got a green thumb. I grow different crops, and the crops that I grow organic, heck yeah, all the fertilizers I use are organic or certified organic, or I don't use no pesticides or nothing like that. Like when I say it's organic, it's organic. So, my stuff is recognized and I'm proud of it to be organic. But then I know other companies, from what I understand and the legalities, it's not organic, and they could just claim it as organic just by following the little loopholes. So I understand too that, yeah, like, I understand your frustration where you're like, oh, it's just a money grab and F that. It's kind of the same thing. And I think it is at some times. You just got to trust the farmer where you're getting the produce from.
I think everything's a money grab, especially now that supposedly we've been in inflation for the last 6 years or so, 5-6 years since COVID. And now it's like all the food companies, and including the stores, all the major brand stores, just want to stick it to us. Like they're raising the prices without question every year. Of course, I used to love buying $1 2-liter sodas back in the day.
Heck yeah.
Like 4 or 5 years ago. And then now, back then, that's when they started at $2. Now they're all $3 for 2-liter bottle sodas. It depends where you go,
Well, that's the real problem right now. Let's talk about the real problem, the food prices. Eating out used to be like a treat, and now it feels like you might need to have a loan if you're going to go take out the whole family. Like, normally we're just used to like taking out our, significant others. But if you got a whole family to raise, like imagine going to a nice fancy restaurant. Like,
what does it make a difference? Yeah, no, because back then, like when I grew up, my father used to take us Because I have 4 brothers. There's 5 of us brothers and my parents, and there's 7 of us total. And it was at least every Sunday after church, he used to treat us to go into a restaurant, and we used to go, and we order our favorite food at that time.
And back then it was normal price. Nowadays, $18 burritos, $15 burgers, $17 iced coffee. Like, where does it end?
Well, I still remember, like, in the early 90s or late 90s at the very latest, it cost $20 to feed all of us for all of us to have hamburgers. Now it's like $20 for one meal for one person. It's like everything's going to keep going up, and they're going to just keep using that excuse, even though, our times are so uncertain right now that they're just going to keep raising prices just because they can, and nobody's going to stop them.
Well, yeah, everything's more expensive. Workers' demands more higher, their wages, and then they claim supply chain issues like their ingredients, packaging, and all the costs allegedly are more. And then I even saw this post the other day. I was on Instagram earlier today on Threads. People were like, they didn't want to buy these $2 strawberries. They were empty because they were American grown. I was like, why would you not buy American grown strawberries? Like, do you care where they come from, America or a foreign country? Like, I want it.
$2 is not a lot.
That's what I was
for
saying.
Strawberries.
That's why I was like, this is probably like, is this propaganda? I was like, that's probably propaganda.
It was. It doesn't sound normal to me. I mean, but the point is that, we're going to, eventually, like I said, it's going to, right now we're at the precipice that we're going to start paying $20 for a meal, period. That's going to be the norm. Especially because, as far as I remember, back when I started working, when I used to get $4.25 an hour, when I began working, the Whopper was still $1 at that time. And that's how I correlate with how much I can afford something. It's like, okay, how much does it cost me an hour to go do this, to go have a meal, to go have a sit-down meal? Is it going to cost me 1 hour of me working a 40-hour shift, or is it going to cost me 3 hours, to enjoy something like more expensive, like Olive Garden per se?
So does it adjust your consumption habits?
Yes.
That these increased prices?
Yes, it does, actually, because right now I'm taking advantage of the fact that there's value menus at different locations. Take advantage of the fact that they're giving you a value for lesser money for the same type of food that you would buy a la carte.
Well, the same here, because a lot of times nowadays, whenever I go like fast food, whenever I have to go fast food, because it's also convenient. If I have to cook, it's going to take time to cook, prepare the food, and then clean up. So it's like versus just getting fast food, bam, get it, eat it, done. Throw away the trash. But so even with that, that's true. Like nowadays, I'll just go for like the sandwich only. Whenever I go to combo, I was like, let me just get the sandwich only. Sometimes I don't even get the fries because what's fries? It's just
starch,
exactly. Unnecessary starch,
a bunch of fat.
Yeah, so unfortunately, like, I'm always trying to perfect the body. So a lot of times I don't be even, to me, it does affect the orders. Sometimes when I have a cheat meal, my cheat meal for the week, I'll go for the full combo. Okay. And then I'll get that milkshake. But that's only like once a week or rarely. It's the exception. It's not the
rule.
The daily rule.
So I want to tell everybody the rewards programs. I get it. Some people are like, oh, they get paranoid about they're tracking this, they're tracking that, they're tracking my purchases, they're trying to see where I'm going, where I'm eating, where I'm spending my money. The rewards programs do work, especially at McDonald's, and not because I'm giving them a free plug, but because it's real. At McDonald's, you get bang for your buck. If you go there often, you're going to get a reward every so often, and you're going to get free stuff all the time. And Chick-fil-A, I love Chick-fil-A. I always get points, and I get rewarded all the time. And the point is that...
But you know what? Chick-fil-A, their service and workers are so kind and nice. It even made me forget that Chick-fil-A, the chicken has over 200 ingredients. That's like really bad. They've been called out on how like not good and healthy their patty is, and they responded, and they've actually made some changes due to people like calling them out.
But it just goes to show you, like, people want to get involved, but they don't have to eat there if they don't like the way it's being prepared. It's like everything else. There's so many choices. I love Chick-fil-A. It's not that I don't. Look, I stopped going to KFC because I started loving Chick-fil-A more.
Oh,
But I love Church's Chicken more now than I love KFC. I wanted KFC the other day, but the KFC that I usually used to frequent when I used to live in Anaheim, when I first met my wife, they're not there any longer. They're done. They're gone. A lot of these KFCs are probably going to be, I don't know if they're going to go bankrupt or if they're just going to end up closing all of them. But my point is that I used to love KFC because I grew up with it. My parents used to treat us when I was
honestly, like, I don't know too much about KFC, but it sounds unhealthy. I'm not going to lie.
It sounds unhealthy, but it's freaking delicious, and that's all that matters. But my point is that, but I mean, not everything that is good for us that we consume is going to be healthy for us. You just have to pick and choose what you want to do. Like everything else, you want to have to pick and choose your battles. Yeah. But the point is that the rewards programs do work. It sucks that they're going to track your purchase history and all that, but that's all that it is. Just a purchase history. But you do get value for your money, I mean, especially because they're coming up with programs with, you can buy things instead of buying things a la carte. You can buy a value menu or something, and everything is cheaper that way. And the rewards points.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing their purchase history with me, and if they want to get statistics out of me, that's fine. I mean, I do all the time with the Taco Bell app. Honestly, the Taco Bell is the main one that.
And I was gonna talk to you about that too, because they have this. Well, you can go online, and if you have the app, you can get like online deals only, which is exclusive deals. And I always go for the build your own looks. Whatever $8 combo meal or whatever. And that's awesome because I don't like paying over $10 for Taco Bell, especially since I started paying $12 for my combo, the number 7, which is a chicken quesadilla combo with a hard shell taco and a drink about 2-3 years ago when I started working from Phoenix.
Well, yeah, according to foodies.com, 60% of Americans say they're cutting back on takeout.
Yeah.
And eating out costs 35% more than it did 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Damn, my goodness. Back in 2020, because we're in 2025, 25%, 35% more than 2020. No wonder, that's why today the Chinese food was over like $20 for one meal, basically. Man.
I mean, the thing
crazy.
The thing is that we're gonna. I've always said this to various people in my life, whether it be family or my wife. We're gonna keep paying high prices, and they're gonna keep lowering their standards for quality. Because they're gonna just change their ingredients, and it's gonna taste less and less. Have you noticed too? Especially like going In-N-Out, not because I love In-N-Out. I go to In-N-Out.
Oh, often. In-N-Out, so good.
Okay, so their burgers are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So basically, I don't know how they measure their burgers or if they. Right. The point is, they're getting the patties getting like pretty soon we're gonna be getting medallions only. I mean, not to disparage. I love In-N-Out. I love eating there, but the patties are getting smaller, just like they do in McDonald's too.
And then check this out: grocery store prices have increased 25% since 2020. So what are you gonna do? The grocery, if you want to stay home and cook in, 25% increase. If you want to go out and eat, 35% increase. Like, that's not even cool. Like, how about, subsidies? You can subsidize food. I would think that'd be a good thing to subsidize.
Things are getting uber expensive here in the States, in the continental U.S. Not because, I recently came back from Mexico. And, whatever. Inflation happens everywhere. If it happens in the U.S., it's probably going to happen globally, especially because of the pandemic or whatever the case was. But, yeah, everything's more expensive over there, too. But it's not over-exaggerated like it is here in the States.
Yeah, like if you go to a fancy taco place like Caracas or Calaveras, you can be paying $13 for tacos. Now, I legit think that sounds like a joke. That's crazy.
I was going to mention Calaveras. They have a good
Yeah, they're nice. They got a whole environment.
But they have a good michelada.
You're going to be, that's like a cheesecake factory of tacos right there.
Well, yeah. Look, I love Korean barbecue. That's,
that's good
one of my top places to go to. Especially this brand that I'm not going to name, because the last time we were there, I got really bad service, honestly. It's like, come on. It's like they barely opened and then I have the, I forgot, it's the beef. I forgot what it's, the thin beef. I don't remember what it's called. They don't have that sauce. I'm like, you guys just barely opened and you guys don't have any of that sauce. People usually, that's the first thing they eat is that beef, whatever, really thin sliced. I forgot what it's called. I'm forgetting things
I
easily.
don't know, Pri. We're getting scammed. We gotta start a taco cartel and bring these prices back down.
We gotta do something. Yeah, we gotta go to Tijuana and eat more rat meat.
Oh my God! Or taco de gato bien barato. So
Well,
let us know, everybody. What are you guys still eating out? And what's your favorite tacos places in the OC
please.
or the IE or Los Angeles?
Anywhere.
I mean, there's a lot of good places in Los Angeles, the IE. Let us know where you guys go.
There's a lot of good eats all over the world, but in the U.S. especially.
There's a famous one I used to work in Los Angeles. What was it called? I forgot.
Well, the only place that I'm really curious to know how good the tacos are, in reality, because I'm all tacoed out. I don't care for tacos anymore. Not as much anymore because I sort of don't eat tortillas anymore, and they always put double tortillas on every taco. Trejo's Tacos. I want to try them out one day. I don't know if there's one near me.
You know
near me.
where in LA? What's it called? Oh my gosh, I just had it.
I don't know, and I hope you don't say King Taco because that place is okay. It's not great. I think the better they make an horchata at a Mexican restaurant or the Mexican taco shop or whatever, that's where it's at. Because if you don't have a good horchata, that's not really 100% close to authentic. Because nothing's ever 100% authentic than what your mom makes, you know?
Oh yeah, believe that. So yeah, let us know in the chat. I mean, there's so many different bomb Mexican food taco spots on the OC. Let us know. And
actually, I want to give a shout out to a taco truck.
All right.
Yeah, it's a taco truck. It's called Andy's Tacos. They're somewhere in Westminster because I literally had them about 6 months ago with my nephew when he came down from Washington. I don't know how they can afford it. They're still $1 tacos, and they have my favorite. They had lengua, and I bought 5 tacos that night, $5. I got 5 $1 tacos, and they were pretty decent. They were good. So I give them a shout out. Andy's Tacos Taco Truck, somewhere in Westminster. I don't remember where it's parked. I would get it a free plug, but I don't remember where So look it up. I'm sure you guys will be able to find it. It's somewhere on YouTube. Andy's Taco Truck.
Oh yeah, and Cali Tacos. They got that big burrito. I got to still try it. And one of my favorite ones too in LA, Taco Nazo. That one
Taco Nazo.
Taco Nazo. It's like a fast food chain, and they got the Cali Current colors too, black, blue, and orange. Okay. And Taco Nazo gets down también, and that's like for fast food. I wish they had one in the OC. If they had one in the OC, damn,
I've heard of it.
I'd be down for some Taco Nazo today, but well, it's a little drive away, so I'm not trying to go for a drive today.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, it could be brick and mortar. It could be a taco truck. It could be, roach coach or whatever you want to call it nowadays. But if they sell tacos or anything that they claim that's authentic Mexican food, I think, and there's also one stipulation that I'm going to talk about because I've noticed it. I've never paid attention to it because I went to our taco spot right now, is that they have, whenever it says cuisine or whenever it says gourmet or whenever a place has something that says of that nature where it's not, a fancy name, then they're holding you over the coals for that type of specialty food. Okay, so thank you very much for listening to the Cali Current Podcast. This is your host, Ish.
And Grimace. And
don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. And we always can take your comments. And let us know if you want to place us any feedback or if you have any comment for a future show or episode.
And peace out, everybody.